I'm Colin, Surname. Welcome to an unavoidable edition of Mixed Emoji, in which we're finally looking at faces. You may know faces from the fronts of heads. Faces have been part of Unicode since 1993, though initially there were just two options, happy and normal. Some of the older kids in the audience might remember emoticons, secret typographical codes that are understood to represent certain facial expressions. Different interfaces of yore had their own sets of visual emoticons, and many of these faces are now instead represented by emoji. So I'm going to use this episode to look specifically at those, with special cameo faces from defunct messaging haven MSN Messenger. Let's start with the neutral face, so we can really look at the shapes and styles of each face template without being distracted by expression. The general facial expression emoji will be a racially vague yellow circle with two eyes and a mouth. Apple's has quite advanced lighting, but the way the eyes are drawn always looks like soulless slits. That's a good band name. Google have an interesting chubby jelly bean approach to emoji that often ends up resembling melted Lego heads. Microsoft's approach is simplistic, of course. Samsung never forget to give their eyes some sheen. LG have a bit of blusher on. HTC and Twitter keep it simple. Mozilla have a strange habit of drawing their emotions on lemons, which will eventually make sense once they introduce an emoji for bitterness. Emoji 1, simplicity again. Simplicity is important here, as we're trying to represent the emotion with no distracting elements. None of these ill-advised ears or makeup or slug bits. And within those bounds, I'm liking HTC's neutral face, with its strong border definition and clear, plain expression. We can throw in the Expressionless Face here, which is mastered by Twitter. Never had saying so little said so much. The other facial emoji are going to be very similar, as they'll follow the house style established in this neutral one. Now, smile for me! The smiling face is one of the two big veterans, and of course it's a long-standing cultural standard for conveying mindless contentedness. Twitter's face is happy despite, or perhaps because of, the two slices of salami stuck to it. Facebook actually didn't submit an emoji for the neutral category, so we can have a look at them now. Facebook's emoticon set is a quite nice set of plain little faces, but this one's ruined by the makeup. Emoji 1 have found a way to make it intimidating. I'm with HTC for this one. There's also a more subtle smile, which Apple does best. The standard frown emoji has strangely low support, with only 5 versions showing on Emojipedia. Thou shalt not be sad. Other frowns are available. Of these, I'm going Apple, but let's compromise with the slightly frowning face. Despite only being introduced in 2014, this face has a lot more platform support. Microsoft's face is still smiling with its eyes. Samsung's is clearly acting. I'm going with Apple again. The masters of sadness. Now, anyone with a colon and a D knows this one. The grin. I mean, the smiling face with open mouth. Wow, who names these? In a clever meta touch, Samsung seems to be reacting to the message above, but it takes a careful balance between amazement and gormlessness, and I think Facebook hit that balance here. There is another grinning face for that good old teeth-baring smile. Or, if you're Emoji 1, another way to be terrified. I'm not fond of these Excel spreadsheet teeth here, so this one's going to Twitter. Now the classic weapon of mass flirtation, the winky face. The subtext to this emoji is vast, so our designers must be careful. Unlike Samsung, who've drawn something that better resembles the emotion, "there's a bug in my eye." Mozilla are representing that large portion of the population who can't properly wink. I feel you guys. Now, this Apple one has a lot of cultural baggage. It's already led to a few thousand conceptions, and a few thousand more misconceptions. So I'll let it win. Wink wink. An old alternative to the wink, with less panache, is the stuck-out tongue. Most old emoticons design this based on the colon P setup, a side-mouth tonguing, but the age of emoji has brought a more biologically likely option. And I'm just not used to it. Most of these look like a dog panting, like eagerness. Google's just looks ill. HTC can win this one for now, but we need to hold a big discussion about mischief tonguing. The shocked face. To me, the X's on eyes imply obscenity, and I don't think that should be part of this face. Google's is very shocked. Samsung are going manga as usual. It's Microsoft for this one, though we have some variant options. Face with open mouth is ruled by LG, and Dizzy Face by Microsoft's rather advanced entry. The crying face represents someone beginning to cry. I assume. I have no idea what it's like. I'm going to guess that Apple's is the most sincere, and in the more impassioned crying category, HTC. Anger now. How can you beat a good old colon at? Yo, where my colon at? Well, these aren't great. It's Facebook for me. The red kind of anger is named as pouting, which not all of them are. Microsoft is not angry, it's disappointed. Algae is angry about its moustache. I'll go with Twitter here, though it may be a Bon Jovi album cover. That concludes our look at emoji faces. Or consider it paused, as there's still many specific face emoji we've not yet confronted, and I'm sure there are more to come in future. I'm waiting for the facial expression of someone trying to find the right emoji. Bye! If you like this video, YouTube has billions more.